Just leave me out, okay? Okay. Ek oankar Sad jap Ad sach jugad sach hai pi sach Nanak hosi pi sach. WhyGuru Ji ka Khalsa, WhyGuru Ji ki Fateh. Hope you guys are doing all okay. I'm going to ask the same question that I asked you guys before, a few of you guys that were here. Who's heard of the Bani Akaal Ustat before? Just had a nice and high. Who? Okay, that's good. Most of you haven't, so fresh canvas, that's good. Okay, who's heard of Dasam Guru Granth Sahib Ji? Okay, more of you, that's good. Okay. So, just a bit of reason why I chose this. It's my favourite Bani that's out there. And I'll go into a bit of who wrote it, the context of it and whatnot. So it's the second Bani that comes in Sri Dasam Guru Granth Sahib Ji. And it's an extension of Jap Sahib. And by the way, if you guys have questions, please ask while I'm going through, just because then it's fresh in my mind as well, the knowledge and whatnot. So just like how Japji Sahib explains Mool Mantar. So in Guru Granth Sahib you got Mool Mantar, it starts with Ek Oankar. The rest of Mool Mantar explains Ek Oankar. And the Japji Sahib explains Mool Mantar. So it's all linked in that way. And the whole of Guru Granth Sahib Ji spent trying to explain Japji Sahib. That's how deep it is. In the same way, Jap Sahib, one of our Nitnem Baniya, typically the second one that we read, Akaal Ustat is an extension of that. It spans about 27 angs, and the literal meaning of it is Akaal. Akaal means timeless, beyond death. That one, that WhyGuru that will never go anywhere, that's always here with us. And Ustat means praise, Devadiyai. And Bhai Mani Singh was actually the scribe of this. Bhai Mani Singh, the one who was cut bit by bit, joint by joint, he was actually the scribe of this. And I love this Bani because it's Guruji's first-hand experience of what they're seeing in this world, and we'll go through how Guru Sahib shares that with us and how we can take laha, how we can take fruits from it as well. So I haven't been able to cover the whole Bani because it spans about 17 chants long, about 1,000 panktis, and obviously it will take a while to do that. So I've summarized it down into 3 chants that I've found that capture the essence of Akaal Ustat, and just an idea there. There's about 17 there, quite a lot. So, Guru Sahib's Kirpa, the main goal today is to go through these 3 forms of Akaal Purukh. Bhai Nand Lal Ji, one of the famous poets in Guru Gobind Singh Ji's time, had a conversation with Guru Gobind Singh Ji. And Guru Gobind Singh Ji told them this. They said, Nand Lal, Teen Roop hai Mohiko. Teen Roop, 3 forms, I've got 3 forms, Mohiko, that are mine. Suno Nanda Chitalai. Listen Nanda and listen very carefully. Nirgun, Sargun and Gura Shabad. Kaho Tohe Samajai. Nirgun, Sargun and Gura Shabad. These 3 forms that Guru Gobind Singh Ji is telling Bhai Nand Lal Ji about. And he says, listen very carefully and explain it to you. Nirgun, very simply, without form, no qualities. Sargun, with form, everything we see around us, everything that we can see with these eyes, that's an extension of Akaal Purukh, that's Sargun. Gur Shabad, any literature / words that help us remember Akaal Purukh, that being Bani, religious poetry, any name for God that you can imagine, anything like that that connects us back to Akaal Purukh, WhyGuru, that's Guru Shabad. And it's really nice to see that Guru Gobind Singh Ji actually writes specific sections on these forms. And today we'll be going through 1 section of Sargun and 1 section of Nirgun, just so we all get a better understanding of what that is and how we can even see Guru Sahib in day-to-day life. You know, some of us might struggle to come Gurdwara in the mornings or evenings because we're just too stressed out with work, got too much work on our plate. That's fine. Guru Sahib is literally showing us how we can get Maharaj's darshan outside of just seeing their physical sarup, their Sargun sarup. So what is the ultimate goal of this life? Anyone know what the Bani Anand Sahib is? Raise your hands if you heard of it. Raise your hands if you've read it. Okay. So Anand Sahib is a Bani written by our 3rd Guru, Guru Amar Das Ji. Anand meaning bliss. And this is a Bani that Guru Amar Das Ji Achar, when they found Guru Sahib, they were in the most ultimate happiness. Words can't even describe it. And these two panktis are very important in Anand Sahib that typically we'll skip over, including myself. And Maharaj says, Guru Amar Das Ji tells us, Iho vis sansar tum dekh de. This means all. So all of this world that you're seeing at, Iho har ka rupa hai. This is itself the form of Har. This is itself the form of WhyGuru. Har Roop Nadri Aya. That make sure it's important that in your nadar, in your eyesight, in your mindset, make sure you're seeing Har in everything. But how do we get this understanding? Because we can't do it ourselves. It's quite a lot to do by ourselves. Guru Amar Das Ji then tells us Gur Prasad Di Bujya. That through Gur Prasad, to the blessings of the true Guru, of Guru Nanak Dev Ji, all the way to Guru Gobind Singh Ji, Guru Granth Sahib Ji, who's sitting downstairs, that we all went to Matha Tek to before coming here. Ja Vekha Har Eka Hai. By that understanding that Guru Sahib has blessed me with, I only see that one in everything. I get that true Anand by seeing that one in everything. Har bin avar na koi. That without Har, there is no one else. Just a heads up, I had to do a kids camp talk this morning for 5 hours. My gula's finished, so sorry if I keep drinking pani. Now that's out of the way. So where does it all start from? Just like we said, we got Mool Mantar and you got Japji Sahib that explains Mool Mantar. Mool Mantar is the true essence of everything that Guru Sahib has tried to teach us. If we could just understand this by 1%, we've made it in life. It's quite a hard thing to do, but it's always worth to have a go. And obviously, most of you guys have probably heard Mool Mantar before. So I'm going to go a very brief translation over everything. Ik, that one being, nothing else like it. And in Punjabi, in Gurmukhi, we have a word called Adutti. Adutti is very hard to put in English, but it means that one being that has no other form like it, that nothing else can copy it. You know, someone might be able to clone us at work, you know, have the same work ethic, have the same strength as us, same, you know, everything, physique, food intake, everything. This one Paramatma, this one God that Guru Nanak Dev Ji tells us about is Ek, Adutti. There's nothing else like it. Oankar, split into 3 sounds. Oang actually. Oang, the sound that God created, that created this whole world around us. Oankar, the one who did that. So there's one being who did the sound Oang and made this whole God, made this whole creation. Satanam, true is their name in all 3 times. Yesterday, last second, the second that's just passed now, right now when we're speaking. In the future, next week when we go into that, the name WhyGuru, Akaal Purakh, is always going to be true no matter what. Karta Purakh. They're the one that is a Karta, that does everything that we see around us. Without them, is there anything that we can do? And I didn't touch on this before, but I just remembered it now. Everyone can see the light bulbs up ahead. The light bulbs are powered by electricity, right? Without the electricity, the bulb can't work. But without the bulb, the electricity has no output. So you see how they go hand in hand. Now let me ask you all a question. Can we see the electricity physically with our eyes? We can't. That's the same with the Karta, that being that does everything. We can't see it, which makes us believe I'm doing something. No, I'm the one that's going to drink this Bani. But in the same way, this body is a bulb. And that Paramatma, that Karta, that creator, is the electricity powering this body. He's the one giving me power to pick up this Bani and have a drink. Which I'm going to do quickly. That's who that Karta Purakh is. The one who has done everything around us. Purakh. That one being that, like I said, like that Ik, that Adutti Parameshwar, that one that can't be touched by anyone. Nirpal, Nirvair, very simple, without fear and without hatred. And that's very important to implement in our lives as well. I won't touch on it too much, but we shouldn't be scared of anyone. At the end of the day, we're going to pass on this world. Yeah, I have a lot of fear for a lot of people. But sometimes I tell myself, we're all going to die one day. We're all just going to become dirt again. We're going to become ashes and go into the river. What's there to be scared about? Nothing to be scared about. And that doesn't mean that you don't listen to your parents and respected ones and stuff. Nirvair, don't hate anyone around. Maharaj only showed unconditional love to everyone. It's one of the qualities that a lot of us are missing nowadays, including myself, to show that unconditional love, that no matter what anyone does to you, you shower them with love, shower them with compassion. Because the only way to get rid of hatred and poison is to give love. That's the only way to beat it. Akaal Murat, Akaal, timeless being, that Murat, that idol-like figure that can't be destroyed. Nobody can touch it. A Junni, outside this human life form, they can take a human life when they want to. They're not forced in it like we are. Sahib, self-existent, and we'll cover this topic in Akaal Ustat during a few of the Panktis. Gur Prasad, this is the biggest part now. Through the Guru, through the Guru's Prasad, through the Guru's understanding, we can understand all of these qualities about Akaal Purakh and take them on. But that only comes from Guru Prasad. How do we get it? I'll ask myself that question a lot. And all it takes is just matha taking and giving everything to Guru Sahib. Realizing that he is actually the Karta. There's a Pankti that comes in Sukhni Sahib, I might mess it up. Jab laga main kuch jaane karta, tab laga garb joan main phirta. As long as I've thought I've done something, I will still come back and back again and again in my mother's womb again and again until I stop realizing is meh. In that same way, let's realize it's that Karta. Let's be open to that Gur Prasad. Let's be open to that blessings. If our Kolli is upside down, if our Panda is upside down, how are we going to accept the rain? We can't. Our Gulla's got to be upright. We've got to accept that blessings, accept that rain of bliss. Jap. Recite this. Remember this. Aad Sach Jugad Sach. From Aad to, from the very start, he's been true. He's been there. Day one. Jugad Sach. He's here with me right now. Happy Sach. He will always be true. And Guru Nanak Dev Ji then tells us, Nanak Hosi Pi Sach. To the end of time, he'll be true. Nobody can destroy him. Or them. Or whatever you'd like to call Akaal Purakh. So the very brief understanding of Mool Mantra, people could debate on this and go on this for days and days. I've tried to sum it down in 5 minutes, so it won't cover everything. So we're just going to move on to the first chand now. This is the very first, so a chand means a section basically. A section or a verse that Guru Gobind Singh Ji decided to write in during this Bani. And it's a chaupai, so chau meaning char, pai pada lines. So one verse is 4 lines basically. That's what chaupai means. And it goes through the characteristics of Akaal Purakh generally in their nirgun form, the electricity form, and the sargun form, the bulb. And it spans about 10 paudis long, and we're just going to jump right in. So the Manglacharan. So Manglacharan is like a blessing, you could say. So like how we did a Mool Mantra before. It's like an invocation saying, hey, Guru Sahib, help me with this task. I'm recognizing you right now as that Karta. So don't leave me, don't let me hang out dry, help me do this. So Guru Gobind Singh Ji says, Ek Oankar Sat Gur Prasad. Ek Oankar, cover that one being that's nothing like them before. Oankar, that created this whole creation. Sat Gur Prasad, through the true Guru's understanding, through the Sat Guru, through Guru Granth Sahib Ji, through Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji, their father, through their blessings they were able to understand this. Akaal Ustat. So Guru Gobind Singh Ji is now stating the Bani that's about to start. Akaal is about to happen. The praise of Akaal is about to happen. The praise of WhyGuru is about to happen. Sri Bhagavati Ji Sahai. Gobind Singh Ji is appealing to one of the many strengths of Akaal Purakh, Bhagavati, the Shastra, the Kirtan that we carry with us all. He's appealing to that strength and he's begging Maharaj to, give me that Sahai, give me that support, so I'm able to just write a little bit of your praise. Utar khase das khat ka, baat sahi dasvi. This part's really cool, I love this part. Because das khat actually means scribe. And what Maharaj is saying is these 4 lines that are next here, I've written myself with my own hands. And you'll be able to see, I'm so sorry I haven't got a handwritten swoop on a picture, that you'll be able to see if you search upon line, Akaal Ustat handwritten, you'll see Maharaj has handwritten it on the Damdama Bir. In that Bir, where Guru Gobind Singh actually themselves wrote these next 4 lines. And these 4 lines are so beautiful, they capture the whole summary of the Bani in these 4 lines. Maharaj says, Akaal Purakh ki racha humne. Akaal Purakh, that one WhyGuru, that one being that looks after a soul, racha humne, he protects me. Sarbalo di racha humne. That's why we carry Sarbalo kirpans, all iron. Sarbalo di racha humne, that's my protector as well. Weapons, any form you want to see it as. Sarab Akaal ji di racha humne. Sarab Akaal, the one that's got control over all time, all death, all outcomes of everything. He is my protector as well. Sarab lo ji di racha humne. Guru Gobind Singh is making a very important point now. A lot of days people say, we got guns, what's the point of carrying kirpans? Guru Gobind Singh Ji is very clearly here said it. Sarblo will always be the protector of the Khalsa. Sada, always, never think to forget about that. That's why it's so important to carry a kirpan when we can. Then Guru Gobind Singh Ji then says, Aagai Lakhari ke daskhat. It's now the Lakhari, the scribe of Guru Gobind Singh Ji is now going to take over, which is by Mani Singh Ji, which we covered at the start of the talk. Everyone all good so far? Any questions before we move on? All good, yeah? ठीक है. Pranavo Ad Ekankara. Pranavo, I bow down to that Ad, that Ekankara, that one who made the Oankar sound. I bow down to that one. Jal Thalamahil Kiyo Pasara. I'm just going to try and go through because ideally I'd like to try and wrap this up in 45 minutes, so we got a bit of a char and Q&A at the end. So if anyone's got any doubts. Jal Thalamahil Kiyo Pasara. Jal, the water, even the water in the jug, the glass, the water that we drink, the ocean, the river, every type of water, every type of thal, ground, the land that we walk on, Kiyo Pasara, he is within that, he is sitting within that, he is also given Shakti, he's given the strength to create that, and he also resides within himself. Ad Purak Abhagat Abanasi. Ad Purak, that one who's been there from the start, Abhagat, without any physical form that we can say, look, this is the one form of a God, and there's no more. Because if we said that, then Guru Nanak Dev Ji and Guru Angad Dev Ji had a physical, outwardly differences, didn't they? So we've got to acknowledge that feature as well. Abhinasi, the one that can't be destroyed, Nas ni ho sakta. They can't, Nas means to be destroyed. It negates it. Abhinas, can't be destroyed. Lok Chatar Das Jyot Prakasi. In the 14 realms in India back in the day, in Puratan times, in the olden days, there was very common knowledge that it was 7 hells and 7 heavens. Obviously, we don't accept that. There's many, many heavens, many, many hells. But Guru Gobind Singh Ji's got to cater to everyone. Because they're not just our Guru, they're Jagat Guru, the Guru of the world. So if they just appeal to us, that wouldn't mean they're the Guru of the world, right? That just means they're the Guru of the Khalsa. So they're abiding by what they think, but they also go against it after and try and break down this sort and give them the true understanding. So Guru Gobind Singh Ji says that I'm bowing down to that one who over the 14 realms of the world, the 7 heavens and 7 hells, his light shines within them. Not just this world, the 7 hells and 7 heavens. How amazing is that? Imagine having so much strength and so much power. And he's our Father. That's the most amazing part about it. That's one thing I'd like everyone to keep in their mind, that this Guru that Guru Gobind Singh Ji is telling us about, that's our Father. It's one thing that we should never forget. That if he's got if he's got control over the 7 heavens and 7 hells, what can he not do for me? Why we got that power? Why we got that fear? There's a lot of things that we can take away from just understanding that part. So we move on to the next verse. Hast Keet ke beech samanna. Hast, hathi, elephant. Keet, a kira, an ant. So within an elephant and an ant, there's samanna. They're immersed within each. And Guru Gobind Singh Ji has made such a beautiful metaphor here that they've chosen the biggest animal and the smallest animal possible. That it shows that even in the biggest thing in this world and the smallest thing in this world, like this little drop of water on this desk, they're in that. Their jyot is within that as well. Not just within these human bodies, not just within these our friends and family, they're in everything that we see. Rav Rang Jai Ekasara Janna. Rav being a king and a Rang being a beggar. Ekasara Janna. This is, I keep saying this is beautiful, it's just all beautiful. I love this Bani, man. Rav Rang, so Rav a king and a Rang a beggar. Ekasara Janna, they see no difference ek sar. They see them as one. They don't care about your wealth, don't care about what car you drive, what house you live in, where you live, don't care what you do for job, don't care about that. They just see you as one. See that jyot within you, that light, that soul that's within everyone, that's all the same. They see that within you. Adwa alak purak abagami. Adwa. It's a very important word that's going to be coming up quite a lot. Adwa means non-duality. Does everyone understand what duality means? Raise your hands if you don't. Okay, so duality is when two things exist. So, me and Paji existing together, that's duality, because two separate entities are existing at once. Guru Sahib, WhyGuru is Adwa, one entity. Nothing else can exist within it, because it's only that one entity that has done this whole expansion, that is everything that we see around us. No other WhyGuru, it's just the one WhyGuru. All good? Adwa alak, can't be counted. Purak abhigami. Abhigami, the all-knowledgeable one. That being that doesn't have to get Bhai. If you have a look at Guru Nanak Dev Ji's Jeevani, all the teachers I went to, they taught them instead. Patti likhi the bani. Patti, the little board that they used to write on likhi. Guru Nanak Dev Ji was being taught letters. And he asked his teacher, he said, what do these letters even mean? He said, what do you mean? They don't have any meaning. And then Guru Nanak Dev Ji wrote Patti likhi, a bani that goes through all of the letters in that alphabet and gives a meaning to each of them. And he told that Ustad that whenever you say this letter, remember that. And remember that Akaal Purakh, remember that WhyGuru. Sab kat kat ke antar jami. Kat kat, within everything, he's within everything. In Aarti, in Kirtan Swalla, we hear Sab mein hai jyot, jyot hai soe. Sab mein hai jyot, sab mein hai. This jyot of mine is within everyone. Same thing here. Sab kat kat ke antar jami. The deepest, darkest secrets that we might have. Unfortunately, God knows them. Unfortunately, WhyGuru knows them. Can't hide it, man. Can't hide it. And that's why it's so important to be open with Guru Sahib and do ardas. And just fall out of Guru Sahib's charan in the Darbar Sahib and say, look, I've messed up if I have. Just forgive me, man. Because they already know. And it's up to us to ask for that maafi. Allah karoop acha and apekha. Allah again, a lot of Akaal Ustat is very repetitive, you'll see. It's like a simran. So you know how we sit down and do WhyGuru job? It's like that Akaal Ustat is, because like I said, this is Maharaj's experience of their life, what they're experiencing in their day-to-day life. So a lot of the same words will be coming up again. Alak, Roop. There are countless forms. We can't count them. A chair. Same with a Banasi. Immortal, can't be destroyed. And a Pekha. Pek, there's a distinctive outfit. This Bana, this chola that I'm wearing, this is the outfit of the Khalsa, the outfit of Guru Sahib, the one that gave us Amrit. They don't have a specific form. So if they come in a Bana or Toti, the little robe that Hindus wear, or the little long kurta that Muslims wear, they don't have a distinctive outfit that we can say, only Guru Sahib's in that person who wears that. We can't say that. Rag rang jeh roop na rekha. Explains this punkti before. Rag, emotion. Rang, color. Jeh roop na rekha. We can't judge Guru Sahib on these two. We can't say, look, if you're having this emotion, if you're having love, that means it's you. If you're having hatred, that's not you. Makes sense? We can't just have this criteria that someone must fit in to be Sadguru, be a God. Baran chahan in sabahun te nyara. Baran, caste, chahan, insignia. They have no like nishana. So if you see like a birthmark, you know how people are sometimes born with a birthmark. Maharaj hasn't got any of that. They haven't got any distinctive form that they're born with. Sabahun te nyara. Nyara mean unique. The most unique out of everyone. Ad Purak Adwa Abhikara. That Ad Purak, that I can't get my words. That undual being. That one that there's no one else like. Abhikara. Very similar repetition. Baran Jahan Jahajatana Pata. Don't have a caste, don't have a birthmark, don't have a lineage, don't have any specific parents. Satra Mitra Jahatatana Mata. Satra being enemy, Mitra being friend. Tat, father, mata, mother. They don't have any specific friends or enemies, no specific father or mother. Like I said, very repetitive. Sabate du sabanate nera, WhyGuru. this one's very important to understand. Sab te dur, saban te nera. If you understand Punjabi, you might think that's a bit of a contradiction, right? How can he be sab te dur? How can he be far away from everyone, saban te nera, but also be closest of close to everyone as well? And the thing is, we've got to realize, if we think that WhyGuru is the only person that sits in the sky, then we're part of that sab te dur. But if we realize that, look, everything we see is sargun, everything we see is an extension of Akaal Purakh, of WhyGuru, then he is saban te nera. He is that one. So we have a choice now. Now that we know this, we have a choice. Do you want to think God's just up in the sky, or God's here right with us right now? I know which one I'd choose. It's up to you guys which one you want to choose. And Jal Thala Mahila Jahe Basera. Again, in the water and the land, he's pervasive. He's sitting within, he's immersed within everything. Anahad Roop, Anahad Bani. Anahad being without limit. Anahad being without limit, Anahad being without end. So their forms are without a limit. The human population is always increasing, isn't it? So if everything we see is an extension of Akaal Purakh, that means their forms are always increasing as well. That's why Maharaj is saying Anahad. Anahad Roop, Anahad Bani. Each one of us speak every day. Words don't end. In that same way that it all links together. Once you start to understand that everything we see is Akaal Purakh, then all of this stuff will start to fall into place. Anahad. Me speaking right now, my words might not have an end at the moment. But in the same way that everyone around us is an extension of Akaal Purakh. Every conversation. Yeah. I guarantee you at least 1 million people are speaking right now. That means Maharaj's words don't have an end. Shows. Charan Sanjay Basta Pavani. Pavani actually here means Maya, means wealth. And it shows that in their charan, in their feet, in their sanctuary, in their saran, in their sanctuary, bust stays Pavani. Pavani, Maya, wealth, stays at the feet of Guru Sahib in their sanctuary. Brahma Bisnu Anta Nahi Payo. How does the Trimurti in the Sanatan Taram? You got, my mind's getting blank, sorry. Brahma, Vishnuji and Shivji. Yeah? The creator, sustainer and destroyer. Brahma and Bisan, Brahmaji and Vishnuji, Anta Nahi Payo. Even they're the Devte of the Hindu Taram. The people that they puj, the people that they worship, and they haven't even been able to find an end to Guru Sahib's, to WhyGuru. It shows how vast Maharaj is. Net Mukhachar Patayo. Net, it splits into not iti, not this. So all you can do, if you can't put a limit on something, you can just say, well, God's not this, God's not this, God's not this, but He's also this and this and this. You can't ever, there's never a finite way and a pinpoint way to describe Akaal Purakh. That's the beauty of it. Everyone here might have a different explanation of Akaal Purakh. And it's so beautiful in Jaupe Sahib we hear, Aap apni buddha hai jiti. Aap apni, whatever your buddhi is, whatever your understanding is of Akaal Purakh, Baranat pin pin to hititi. Their Baranat, their explanation of you, pin is different. Maharaj never said it was wrong. They said it's just going to be different amongst people. Because it's so vast that I can't find one. Nobody's able to find one. Even Guru Sahib here is saying it, that they themselves aren't able to find one. Kot Indra Upindra Banai. They made loads and loads of Devte, Banai, created. Brahma Rudra Upai Kapai. Again, examples of Devte. Don't need to get too in depth with it. Upai, created, and Kapai, destroyed. Within a moment they can create, within a moment they can destroy. Just like this body, they can take the life and they can give life as well. Lok Chatur Das Khela Racha. The Khel, this whole drama that we're seeing, they themselves has created it themselves. They themselves are orchestrating it all as one and playing with it at the same time. Just like how you see in a theatre, people might improvise. Same way Maharaj is always improvising in his Khel. He's making everything new by the minute. That we might not know what happened, but he's always got an idea of what will happen. Baura aap hi beech malayo. That within all these demigods and all these people is a beach. Within these people, Malayo, he's met within himself. From outwardly, from the electricity form, he's met with the bulb form. And he's given power from the electricity to the bulb. That's how Maharaj milas with himself. That's how he meets with himself. Danava Dev Paninda Apara. Danav, demons, Dev, demigods. Paninda Apara. He's created millions and millions of these demigods and demons. Gandharva Chacha Racha Subachara. He's made many different Gandharvas and Yaks. The devotees of the demigods. Yeah, nothing too important. Just to grasp that Guru Sahib is the creator of all of this stuff. Bhoot, Pavek, Pavan, Kahani. Kahani being a story. Bhoot, in the past. Pavek, in the future. Pavan, and in the present. He's a true story of all three times. Yeah, we were talking about him 5 seconds ago. And if not, someone was talking about him 5 seconds ago. We're talking about them now. And I guarantee you, within the next 5 minutes or 10 minutes, someone else other than ourselves will be talking about Akaal Purakh. That's how they're the true Kahani. The one that never ends. Storybooks always end for us. The story of Akaal Purakh never ends. Kat kat ke pat pat ki jani. Kat kat, within everything, he knows everything. Pat pat. Again, he knows everything. Tatma je jatna pata, very simple. Covered it before. Father, mother, lineage or caste, doesn't have any of them. Ek rang ka hu nahi rata. He isn't loved within any specific rang, any specific colour. That be physical colour, emotion, whatever form. Colour is a metaphor for different things in this world. Colours can change. Same way we can change appearance, can change our thought, our mindset, can change our personality. All of these things that we can change, Maharaj isn't in love with them. What's Maharaj in love with? The Atma that's inside of us, that Jyot. All we've got to do is connect with that, stay with it, and just love God. And this is, like I said, we'll understand how crazy Maharaj gets in love. We'll understand it a bit later. Sarva Jyot ke beech samana. Sarva Jyot, all the light. Sarva mean all Jyot, light. Ke beech samana, all the vich samagya. Within them, he is immersed within it. Like I said again, Sab mein hai Jyot. My light was within everyone. Sab hun sarva thaur pehchanna. Within everyone, I see them at all times. And this is so beautiful that he gives us an insight of what's to come. Maharaj is saying, Sab hun, within everyone, sarva thaur, whatever place, whatever time, yeah, be it the worst place in the world, Aurangzeb's court, let's say, or let's say a darbar, I still see you no matter what. The setting doesn't make a difference to me. Kala Raht Anakala Swarupa. Kala Raht, he's beyond death, Anakala Swarupa, and he is the form of death himself. Alak Purakh Abhagat Avatuta. Alak Purakh, that being that cannot be perceived. Abhagat, that unmanifested being, that one that doesn't have that specific form. And Avatuta, the one that's attached. The one that sits like a lotus flower on the ocean. Yet no matter what waves come, it still doesn't go under, it still stays on top. That's who Guru Sahib is. They come and play this world, and yet they're still so attached to it. You can see that by Guru Gobind Singh Ji telling their father to go give their head. They even suggest it. Say, what bigger sacrifice can we give for the Hindu Dharam, for the Kashmiri Pandits than yourself? What about God themselves? Nothing's bigger than that. Jat Paat, yeah, Jehan na Barana. Jat Paat again, lineage and caste, Jehan, insignia, Nishana, sorry, Basma, Barana, caste, lineage. Abhagata Dev, Acha and Parama. They're that Dev that's indestructible, and they're unparam, they're without any doubt, any secret. They know everything, so how can they be without a doubt? How can they be with a doubt, sorry? It wouldn't make sense. Sabako Kaal Sabanako Karta. So Maharaj is starting to wrap up now. We're going to move on to the next part. Sabako Kaal Sabanako Karta. They're the controller of all death. Sabanako Karta. They're that Karta that we mentioned before. That Karta is like that electricity that's powering this body. Everyone has a conscience, right? Consciousness. Maharaj is that consciousness that's powering this whole thing. Rog Sog Do Kanako Harta. rog and sog, physical and mental illnesses, do kanako harta, do is a blemish without them. With the most focused dhyan, the most focus, if you want to say it like that. If we just meditate on WhyGuru for one chin, for a blink of an eye, yeah, that we won't even have to come in the noose of death. Jamdut won't even have to, Jamdut would be so scared to even come near us. So that's just very brief, very brief summary of that chant. And I know I rushed through it and I'm so sorry. Are there any questions? Anyone need anything clearing up? All good? Okay. So between yourselves, or you can do it yourself, just a heads up, we might push to 8:30. Would that be alright with everyone? So just discuss it between yourselves, or think between yourselves. There's a picture of Aurangzeb. What do you guys think of him? Just discuss it for a minute. Very simple. Let's see what you come up with. And keep in mind what we've just been discussing about the Jodh being in everything. Okay? WhyGuru? Everyone all good to regroup? Okay. Let's have a few hands up. What do you guys think of Aurangzeb? Go on, let's hear it.
You know when you said is that in terms of what we already know or just the portrait?
No, what you already know.
Right.
Yeah.
I think he's like a human, but like his decisions made him appear bad.
Okay.
Because to be fair, it's our decisions that make us appear good or bad, but then there is no good or bad.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Agree. It's a very deep topic we can discuss after. Hanji Singh. An evil emperor, okay. Let's have one from this side. Hanji Pinji.
He's a person that's not in control of his bunch.
Yes, not in control of Banshore. What are the Banshore can Pinji? If you could just make that clear, please. Hanji. Kaam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Ahankar. Your lust, your greed, your anger, your attachment, and your pride. That's it. Singh, you have your hand up. Yeah, he was the Mughal emperor. Okay, very interesting to see all of that. So let's look at it from Guru Gobind Singh Ji's eyes. Guru Gobind Singh Ji, he was the reason Guru Gobind Singh Ji's 4 sons became Shaheed. So do you think Guru Gobind Singh, you'd be angry, right?
No.
What? As a normal person, let me rephrase. As a normal person, you'd be angry, right? But Guru Gobind Singh Ji is much different than Akaal put it themselves. So let's look at what approach they took to Aurangzeb. We've all heard the Zafarnama, yeah? Put your hands up if you heard of it. Okay, just very briefly. Zafarnama is a letter that Guru Gobind Singh Ji sent to Aurangzeb, and shortly after reading that, Aurangzeb passed away. And it's so beautiful the way Guru Gobind Singh Ji starts it. They start doing the praise of Akaal Purkh, they start doing the praise of WhyGuru. Why would they do that? Any ideas why would they do the praise of Akaal Purkh to someone that to us we should hate? Show the power of Sikhi, yeah? Who else?
Would you say it kind of sheds light on the fact that we're all one first?
Hanji. Guru Gobind Singh Ji always did par upakar, and this is a little subject that we'll cover on after. Par upakar means the benefits of others, par being others, upakar meaning benefit. So Guru Gobind Singh Ji says, Karamat Kayam Kareem. They start off the Zafarnama with that this God that we see, the God that we speak about, He is this one that does all these miracles. He's the most masterful, the most beautiful being out there. And by reading this, Aurangzeb is already thinking about God. How amazing is that? Yeah. If we got bullied in workplaces, there's a bully in a workplace, do you think we'd go to our leader, our superior, yeah? And we say, sort this out, innit? Yeah, put them in place. I wouldn't ever think about sending them a letter saying, remember God. But that's who Guru Gobind Singh Ji was, because what did they see? They saw that Jyot, they saw that Atma, so that one soul that connects all of us. Yeah, whether he was a Muslim or not, it doesn't matter. Yeah, we don't care about caste, we don't care about lineage, as Guru Gobind Singh Ji very clearly stated, because Maharaj WhyGuru has no specific lineage. He is within everyone. Otherwise, Guru Nanak Dev Ji be lying about saying Sab Mein Hai Jyot. And I don't want to say Guru Nanak Dev Ji is lying. There's a few ways that we can back this up as well. Guru Arjan Dev Ji says, Jab dekho, tab sab ki chamul. Jab dekho, whatever I see, tab sab ki chamul. Mool meaning the like foundation, the foundation stone of everything. So whatever Guru Arjan Dev Ji is now telling us, he's saying that whatever I see, you are the foundation of that. Nanak so sukham, sui astul. Sukham meaning something fine, like particles. We can't see particles. Yeah? Guru Arjan Dev Ji is saying that WhyGuru is so fine that he's like particles that are sukham, that we can't see. But they're also astul, things that we can see with our physical eyes. In that same way, the Jyot in that way is sukham. We can't see with our physical eyes, not with these eyes, not with these worldly eyes. But we got to still look at that with these worldly eyes. We got to understand that within everyone. Whether it's someone that's not keeping their gaze, doesn't matter. Still shower them with love. Whether someone's Amritari, doesn't matter, shower them with love. You got a Hindu brother that works with you, shower them with love. Doesn't matter. There's two panktis that I think captures this, and then we'll move on to the examples. Maharaj tells us, Mera gun avaguna na bicharya. Mine, mera, gun, my virtues and avgun, my demerits, the stuff I do bad and good, Maharaj doesn't care about either of them. You know, we say that do gun, do avgun. Well, don't do avgun. Do gun, don't do avgun. In essence, Maharaj doesn't really care about what we do. Maharaj just says as long as we do it from a place of love. There's a pankti that Bhai Gurdas Ji tells us about. Govinda Pao Pagat Bukha. Pao means love. Pagat is with a Sahari. Anyone who's interested in grammar. Pagat with a Sahari means bhakti, meditation, worship. Bukha, Gobind. The Lord, Akaal Purkh, is hungry for loving devotion. That's why Maharaj don't care about Agun Avagun. They just care about what the intention you're doing it with, the love that you've got behind it. And if we want to become like God, if we want to merge back with God, like water meets with water, like the sun rays meet with the sun, we've got to become God. We've got to become like God. We've got to take on their virtues, take on their characteristics. So Maharaj tells us that what does Guru do for us? Ek nadar kar vekha sab upar. Ek nadar, with one eyesight, no discrimination, kar vekha sab upar. They look upon everyone. Just like we heard him before, Ravarang je ek sarjana. Between kings and beggars, they don't see a difference, see them as one. Maharaj is reinforcing that in Guru Granth Sahib Ji. They're saying that they look at everyone with the same pair of eyes. However much love you've got for Guru Sahib, that's how much profit you'll get from it. Doesn't matter if you're Amritari and you're doing Chor Sahib, you won't get any less fall than someone who is Amritari and doing Chor Sahib. Doesn't make a difference as long as you're doing it with love. If you do things with love, you automatically come onto this path anyway. I'll speak testament to myself. I used to listen to Slok Mela Nova before going to bed because I never understood what it was. And I'd heard so many great things from many Gursikhs, my brother and many of his friends. So I thought, let me, listen to it. Nothing had happened. And I thought, let me just look at what it means. And I read that first pankti, Gun Gobind Gayo Nahi, Janam Akara Thakin. Gun Gobind Gayo Nahi. You haven't sung the praise of this Gobind. You haven't sung the virtues of this God. Janam Akara Thakin. Your life is worthless now. It's rendered worthless. You've done nothing with it. And when I read that, it hurt. Because I don't want to be worthless. Maharaj's calling me worthless. Like, I want to make Maharaj happy, proud. I want to show them that I love them. And that's what sparked it for me. That's what's brought me onto this path. So anything can spark it. That's why Maharaj said, Ek nadar kar vekha sab upar. Anything can be that spark. Based on anything. No criteria. So let's jump in. And this Kabit, before we jump in, is, so how we mentioned the electricity and the light bulb. This one's about the light bulb now. So the first one that we covered was about a bit of both, about the electricity and the bulb. Now Guru Gobind Singh has gone a bit specific now. They're going into the light bulb. They're explaining us how to see this light bulb in day-to-day life, how to see WhyGuru in our day-to-day life without having to come to the Gurdwara if we're struggling. And something to clear up just beforehand, there's levels to Sargun. There's something called Puran, so perfect, this complete being. That's what Guru Granth Sahib gives to us. That they're the Puran Sargun, the complete truth in this physical form. Everything else is a little notch down, unfortunately. I make mistakes. I'll openly admit that. I'm sure all of us here make a mistake here and there as well. Guru Granth Sahib Ji doesn't. That's why they're Puran, that's why they're perfect, that's why they're complete. That's why we're not yet Puran, because we're still making mistakes. So, let's start. Guru Gobind Singh Ji opens in the first verse. They say, Kahu Maharaj ne ko dijat anant dan. So, it's actually written in Kabit, and the Kabit's got such a beautiful chal. And if you search it up on SoundCloud or YouTube, you'll see you'll find someone that's reading it in such a poetic, beautiful way, just how Guru Gobind Singh Ji would have. And it will just make you connect with the Bani so much more once you've understood. So, Kahu Maharajan, the greatest kings, ko dijat anant dan. You're still giving them anant dan, charity without any count, any end. Kahu Maharajan de chin chit leto ho. Sometimes you're deceiving these Maharaji, these emperors. You go on behind and thieving from them. Now, this doesn't mean that Guru Gobind Singh just, taking on a form and doing this. It's doing this, Guru Gobind Singh is telling us this, so that we can see the jyot in that person. Just like Guru Gobind Singh Ji saw the jyot in Aurangzeb. To us, to our human minds, they've done so much wrong. Personally, we would hate them. But Guru Gobind Singh Ji has given us these examples to prepare us. To say, look, you're going to come up against these people. You're going to come up against these people where you're the Maharaja and people are trying to do you over in business. Cheen the chit, deceive you in business. That's what people are going to try and do. Maharaj is preparing us for that. So when it does happen, because unfortunately, that's the characteristic to the world, the Kal Yug that we're in. When that does happen, then we can see the jyot and we can shower them with love still and compassion and not get on the wrong side of God. Sometimes you're in accordance to these religious rituals, and sometimes you're viparit, you're completely opposite them. And we can see that today ourselves. Sometimes you are that electricity that's without the trigun, without a physical form. You're that electricity that we can't see. Sometimes you are that bulb that we can see. So we can see how it's all starting to puzzle together now. So these Hindus have a mantra called the Gayatri mantra. It's like their Mool mantra. How we have Mool mantra, that's their Mool mantra. So Maharaj is saying that in that person, I see you. In that person who is a Hindu, doing job, reciting this Gayatri mantra, I see you anyway. Sometimes you become a Turk. The people that fight with you. And you shouting these war cries, but I still see you within them. Sometimes you're an educated Pandit, educated person, educated Vidwan, and you've got the mat, you've got this understanding of all the Purans, all these Granths, all these religious Granths. Sometimes you even know of the Quran as well. So you see how Guru Gobind Singh Ji is now telling us how they're seeing people, seeing that jyot within Hindus and Muslims. Not harvesting, not growing hatred towards them, but even showing their sons and daughters like us how we can show them compassion like he did. Devatan, demigods. Sometimes you're sitting there in their divan, giving them advice. Sometimes you're the demigods. Sometimes you're the demons, telling them what to do, giving them advice. So you see how I don't know if you guys remember, Lok Jadardas Khela Racha, one of the punktis that we covered in the first chant. This is an example how Maharaj is doing, how Maharaj has created this khel, created this whole drama that we're seeing before us. Kahu Taramatami, Kahu Sarabatauragami. Sometimes you are following the Maryada of Dharam, of righteousness. Now there's 10 elements of Dharam. And some of them being forgiveness, not violence, speaking sweetly, saying Satabachan, saying, not arguing with people when they say something. All of these things, sometimes you're in accordance with that, sometimes you follow them. Sometimes you just stroll around, must in Naam. You're just carefree, have no care about this world, and you're just wandering around. And this is very important. And again, I'm going to emphasize that Guru Sahib is saying that within this person, see their jot. They're not saying, I have taken on a form and doing this. Sometimes you're a celibate. Sometimes you're a lustful person, indulging in these acts. And it's so important to understand this, because then when we see someone like this going to a club on a Friday night, we're able to not judge them then. We're able to see, look at them and say, within them, there's Rab as well. Even though to our mind, they might be doing something wrong, within them, there's still Rab, there's still God. Sometimes you give, sometimes you take. Straightforward. Sometimes you're a sipahi, sometimes you're a soldier, and you're taking vars on the head. Sometimes you're a chatri, you're a soldier again, and you're killing people, but you also die yourself. Again, that jot, Maharaj is describing what they're seeing in their life. Sometimes you take on the form of a Maharaja, and you get rid of zulm, you get rid of this negativity that's happening in your Raj. Sometimes you take on the form and fulfill desires of people, giving them what they want, showering them with wealth, doing whatever they wish. You can see that in Surat Prakash. We see many times Kabit Santokhi Ji says, within the prasang, they'll just drop it in like it's nothing that was normal for Guru Sahib, that they're sitting in their divan and someone walks in with an itcha and Guru Sahib just fills it like that. Many times Kabit Santokhi Ji writes that. I even read it today when I had to cover the Jyoti Jyot talk, that Guru Amar Das Ji, there was Sangha that came to see Guru Amar Das Ji's Jyoti Jyot happen. One of them had an itcha for a child. Guru Amar Das Ji just made that happen without even thinking about it. Just shows that even Maharaj is very simple, but very complex to understand that outwardly we can't call Guru Amar Das Ji Guru. We should look at what they're doing from their actions and their jyot and call them the Guru. Because this body will always change. If people did that, then people will have Shankar and Guru Nanak Dev Ji turning into Guru Angad Dev Ji. But they didn't, because they saw that the same jyot that was in Guru Nanak Dev Ji moved into Guru Angad Dev Ji. Sometimes you are very deen, very masterful. Sometimes you are very wealthy and decide to be egoistic. Sometimes you are very knowledgeable. Sometimes your jyot is sitting within the sun, and sometimes your jyot is sitting within earth. And like I said again, I'm going to keep saying this. Maharaj is telling us all of this to reinforce this thinking that, look at that person, let me be dayalu on them, let me be compassionate, let me show them love. That's the whole point of this chant here. Kahu akalank, kahu marata mayank. Kahu akalank, sometimes you are pure without any stains. Sometimes you have every stain, marata mayank. Kahu purana prajank. Sometimes you're going to bed, again indulging in that lustful quality. Doesn't mean that Maharaj themselves have decided to do that, but look at the jyot in that person and still show them compassion. Going Suddha Da Ki Sar Ho, sometimes you're the purest of the pure. And we can see that in the Das Guru Sahib. They were the purest of the pure. Living examples. Going Dev Dharam, going Sadhana Ke Haram. Sometimes you follow the Dharam, you follow the code of conduct of being righteous. Going Sadhana Ke Haram, but sometimes you go against that. Going Kutast Kukaram. Sometimes you're doing Parchar of the wrong things. Sometimes you're spreading the wrong things, wrong mat. Going Dharam Ke Prakar Ho. Sometimes you are spreading the right mat, right mindset of being righteous. Suddha Da Ki San Ho. Again, very pure. You're the purest of the pure. Ki Santana Ke Pran Ho. Beautiful. Everyone here is a Sant. To Guru Sahib, everyone here is a Sant. Because who gives you your breath? Akaal Purakh. If Maharaj is just the breath of the Sants, then how does that mean they have a different breath than we do? They don't. So if Maharaj is saying that Ki Santana Ke Pran Ho, Maharaj themselves are calling you their Sant. It's a big title we got to live up to. The Pran, the support of everything I do. Ki Data Mahadan Ho. You give the most dhan possible. Mahadan, most charity ever. Ki Nirdokhi Nirankar Ho. Sometimes you have no form. Sometimes you're Nirdok, you have no blemish. Nothing wrong. Purest of the pure again. Joban Ke Jal Ho. Joban, your youth. Sometimes you're the epitome of youth. You're in your young teens. Like me. Proud to say that. Ke Kaal Hun Ke Kaal Ho. Sometimes you're old and you're on the brink of death. You're the form of death in that point. You're about to be snapped up. Ke Satrana Ke Sool Ho. You are that soul, you are that spear that's piercing that enemy. Ke Mitran Ke Pran Ho. Again, I just want to cover this Satran Ke Sool Ho. We see the jot in the inanimate objects as well. We just don't see it we don't just limit it to animate objects. That's why Maharaj added the spear, the Parchar analogy, to see that it's a piece of lakkar with a bit of metal on the end. A piece of wood that's got metal on the end. But we still see the jot in that as well. Ke Mitran Ke Pran Ho. Again, Maharaj is it's beautiful, man. Maharaj is calling you their mitra, their friends. They're saying, I'm your WhyGuru is a breath of all of my friends. Everyone sitting here. A language of love Maharaj uses, crazy. And you know how I said that we'll get on to how in love, crazy in love Maharaj is. This is it. This is how crazy in love Guru Gobind Singh Ji is. And by reading this and understanding, we're able to just get a tiny drop. And that tiny drop will last us weeks and months if we truly understand it. Kahun bar det. Sometimes you give boons, these bachans, these words that will bless people. Go and chalas your chanai let. Sometimes you're deceitful, the most deceitful of deceit. Sometimes you do tax fraud or whatever. Yeah, you do the worst of the worst and you deceive people. But Guru Gobind Singh Ji has one condition, and we cover this. Sabahun sarba taur pehchanna. Within everyone and every place, I see you, I pehchan that jot within everything. So Maharaj, he says, sarba kal, in all times, sarba taur, in all places, I still see that jot of you. Ek se lagat ho, that ek, that one, that ek, that did the all ankar. I see that in everything. And that wraps up the second chand. Any questions about that? Everyone all clear? Maharaj is talking specifically about the jot. Not the outwardly body, that's this, the jot. All good? I keep saying it, I'm sorry. This is probably my favourite chand in Akaal Ustat. It's called Lagniraj chand, and I think it's the fifth chand that comes in the Bani, the fifth section. And you'll truly see how intoxicated in love Guru Sahib is, because there's a cool sakya at the end of this. But whatever Guru Sahib is seeing, they're literally saying as it is. Let's dive in. Maharaj says, Jale Hari, Thale Hari. Within Jal, within the water here, and in Thal, in the land, is Hari, is Akaal Purakh in WhyGuru. I see that. Ore Hari, Bane Hari. In everyone's hearts is Akaal Purakh. Everyone's heart is that jot that sits there. Bane, in forests, whatever you see, in forests, in the road, whatever, I see that jot. Gire Hari, Gupe Hari. Gire mountains, Gupe caves. In the mountain I see your jot. In the cave I see your jot. Chite Hari, Nabe Hari. In the land, again I see your jot. In the sky I see your jot. And this just a drop. Maharaj wrote in 80 lines about this. Beautiful. And this is just the start of it. Maharaj said, Iha Hari, Uha Hari. Iha Hari, right now in this world, in this room where I am right now. Iha Itea Sadena. He is here with us right now. Uha Hari, when I leave this world, he's going to be there with me as well. Jami Hari, Jama Hari. In the Jameen, in the land, Jama in the sky. And you can see how intoxicated Maharaj is because they're repeating it again and again. And it shows that this is literally what they're seeing. If you see in the sky, or if I'm seeing this glass of water and all I'm seeing is the glass of water, I can repeat it. Same way Guru Sahib is seeing Hari in everything, seeing WhyGuru in everything. That's why they're repeating it so much and so much. Alek Hari, Apek Hari. Alek. This Hari, this Akaal Purakh has no destiny written on their forehead. Our karam, the karam that we bring into our life is written on our matha. That's why we matha take. To give that matha, to give that karam to Guru Sahib and say, look, this is your life to write in. Yeah? Apek Hari. They're without any specific form, any specific clothing, any specific way of looking. Adok Hari, Adwak Hari. They're without blemish. And then that one undual Lord, nothing else like him. That Adutti Parameshwar, that Ek Oankar again. Adutti Parameshwar, nothing else like that WhyGuru. Akaal Hari, Apal Hari. Akaal Hari is beyond time, this WhyGuru. This WhyGuru I'm telling you guys about is beyond time. Apal Hari. Were any of you self-sufficient as a child? I wasn't. And Maharaj is saying that here. Apal, Pal, it means to care. Apal. Guru Sahib, when they take a form, they don't need to be looked after. They look after themselves. Just like the electricity, it runs itself. Only needs if it takes on a form, it needs maintaining. But if it doesn't, then it can manufacture itself. It can be looked after itself. In that same way, this Guru Sahib is Apal. Ached Hari, Aped Hari. Ached, imperishable. Nothing can destroy this Lord. Can anyone destroy electricity? We can't, right? Same way, nobody can destroy Akaal Purakh. Aped Hari. Without any difference. And what does that mean? There's no different jyot within Bhai Sahib over there that it is in VG at the front. Maharaj says in the Bani, and like I said, there's so many gems in here, I haven't been able to cover everything. I might try and do a few honourable mentions at the end if I can. But Maharaj says, Jameen Jaman ke bikha. Within the Jameen and Jaman, in the land and the sky, ke bikha. Within that, samast ek jyot hai. There's one jyot that resides in everything. This is a beautiful part. Na kaat hai, na baad hai, na kaat baad hota hai. That they're not less and they're no bigger in anything. Just shows that the same jyot that's within this table right here is the same jyot that's within me, same jyot within all of you guys that's sitting here right now. A jantra hari, a mantra hari, a satej hari, a tantra hari. A jantra, a mantra, and a tantra are ways of educating someone, ways of communication. Think a jantra is like geometrical shapes, a mantra is words, a tantra is like specific ways of teaching people. Maharaj is beyond that. They're beyond all modes of communication. Sutej, their radiance and their control over this world is so powerful, is so amazing. Sut meaning great. They're great, their power. Ajat Hari, Apat Hari, beyond the Jat, beyond the caste, path, beyond lineage. A Mitra Hari, Amat Hari, beyond friends, beyond mother. Yeah, they don't have any specific parents, don't have any specific friends. Like they said Mitran ke pran ho. Everyone breathes the same breath in this world. That means everyone's Maharaj's Mitra. Maharaj don't have any specific Mitra. They don't say, oh, whoever's Amritari is my Mitra. No, they don't say that. They say, everyone in this world is my Mitra. Whatever form you are, you're all my Mitra. Arog Hari, Asog Hari. They're beyond physical and mental illnesses. Aparam Hari, Akaram Hari. They're beyond doubt. They're beyond doing karam. The karam that we bring in this life, the karam that we cause ourselves to come back and back again and again, they're beyond that. They're beyond this Jurasi Lakjun. They're Sepang, they're Ajuni. They're beyond this whole life cycle, aren't they? Ajay Hari, Apa Hari. Ajay meaning unconquerable. Nobody can beat over them. Have a look. Guru Gobind Singh Ji's Jang. Nobody could beat Guru Gobind Singh Ji, could they? Guru Gobind Singh Ji always came out on top. Even if they're outnumbered. Ajay couldn't be beaten over. appear without fear. Appears Hari, Ached Hari. Again, appears being indecipherable. Can't understand the finite details of this kid. I don't understand how the jyot is in its table. It's an example of appears. If you do, then please tell me. But I struggle to understand how. But I know that Guru Sahib has said it, and Guru Sahib will never lie to me. That's why it will be true. That's why I believe it with everything. I'll put my life on it. Ached Hari. The eternal, they can't die. Nothing can kill WhyGuru. Nothing can get rid of WhyGuru. Nothing. Akhand Hari, Apand Hari. Akhand without interruption. Khandan to bina. Can't be interrupted, can't be destroyed. Apand, who cannot be slandered. Yeah. On India might happen, but how can marriages in India not happen? Because I'm sure people slander them a lot. Whenever someone praises someone, the slander gets cancelled out. And there's more people praising Akaal Purakh, WhyGuru, than people slandering. That's how Apand Hari works. More people praise Akaal Purakh than people slander. More people doing that. Adand Hari, Prachand Hari. I laughed when I looked at this one. Danda to pareya. They're away from getting beaten with a danda. They're beyond getting punished. Obviously a metaphor, people get beat with a danda for being a punishment. Maharaj use that as a metaphor that we can have a bit of a laugh with as well. Prachand Hari. Their glory cannot be described. It's beyond words. I've tried to spend an hour and 10 minutes currently so far explaining it, and I still haven't got to the end of it. We've got only through about 5 angs of what Guru Gobind Singh Ji wrote. Just shows that it's so vast, so vast. Atev Hari, Apev Hari. Maharaj is supreme. Apev, Aped, without any differences. The jyot isn't different in Virji, like it is with Virji at the front. Same point. Ajev Hari, Achev Hari. Jev, your tongue. Maharaj is beyond all 5 senses. Achev Hari. They cannot be pierced. Again, repetition. Pajo Hari, Tapo Hari. Pajo, worship the Lord. Tapo, worship again. Tapo Hari, do seva. Japo Hari. Recite Maharaj's name, recite WhyGuru's name. Maharaj is now giving us instructions on how to get to this level. I can't stress enough how lucky we are to be blessed with Guru Gobind Singh Ji's personal life, what they're experiencing. What we experience is enough for us, but to get it from God themselves, what it's like to be with God, you can't put that in words, you can't get a value on that. It's so invaluable. And this is the biggest Sikhi I've taken from the Bani, the biggest teaching. Maharaj is telling me to do worship and worship again, and then to do seva, and then to do Simran as well. To all of these 4 things. Jalastuhi, talastuhi. There's a pretty cool fact here. Anyone doubts that it's not Guru Sahib's first-hand experience. Maharaj has even put a bindi, a little dot on tuhi. The bindi signifies that it's first-hand experience. So you'll see in a lot of Indian poetry, if it's not first-hand experience, they won't put a bindi on stuff. But if it is first-hand experience, they do. Just like in Jab Sahib, we say hai with a bindi. That's because it's Maharaj's first-hand experience. Same way, this is an evidence why it's Guru Sahib's first-hand experience. We can't doubt it. Jalastuhi, talastuhi, nadastuhi, nadastuhi. Jal devich, you're in the jal, I see you. Tuhi, thal, in the ground around me, in the land, I see you. Nadis, in the nadis, in the rivers, I see you. Nadas, in the ocean, I see you. Brichastuhi, patastuhi, in the trees and leaves, I see you. Chitastuhi, rudastuhi, in the land and the sky. The cool Sakya about Bhai Veer Singh, I remember. I might butcher it, but I'm just going to convey the general thought of it. And I think one of the Vidyarthis, one of their students came to them and said, how do I know I've found God? Or how do I know I'm doing enough course for WhyGuru? And Bhai Veer Singh says that you end up going so crazy that you go ask a patta, you go up to a tree, hold it in its hands, caress it, and say, how do I find the way to my beautiful beloved? That's how desperate we should be to find Maharaj. Because if it's this amazing, who wouldn't want to be there? Just seeing everything. Maharaj sat on the riverbank of Satluj and recited his Bani. And just looking around. They're sitting on a chonk and just looking around and just describing what they're seeing. Then, Ahi Hari, Ohi Hari, Oha Hari, Ahi Hari. Everything is Hari for them. Pajastuang, Pajastuang. Remember and meditate again. Maharaj is making this very clear to us. This is the one way that we're going to get that Gur Prasad. Gur Prasad di Bujya. How are we going to get that Gur Prasad? By doing Pajas and Pajas. Remembering and meditating. Ratastuang, Tatastuang. By doing Ratan. Ratan is chanting. And Tatas is worship again. So Maharaj is putting a big emphasis on just reciting this. Remembering this. Remember this in your mind. Tomorrow when you go to work, try it. Have a look at the person in your office and say, look, Odhe vich Rab Vasudaya. In him or her, there's WhyGuru's Jyot in that as well. In that person. Try it. You'll see how it changes your life. Jami tuhi, Jama tuhi, Maki tuhi, Maka tuhi. In the ground and the sky. And this one's really cool. Maki is a house owner and Maka is a house. So you could say that the electricity is a house owner. Without the house owner, you wouldn't have a house, right? Guru Sahib is now telling us that WhyGuru is the electricity and the bulb. There's a form that we can't see, and the form that we can see that's around us. Again, reinforcing that, making sure that we've not been left to doubt anything. Not been left to doubt anything. Apu tuhi, apa tuhi. Apu without birth, apa without fear. Achu tuhi, acha tuhi. Beyond senses, achu, acha without destruction. Jatas tuhi, bratas tuhi. Yes. These four things, jatas, bratas, gatas, amatas. Jatas is being a celibate. Bratas is fasting. Gatas is speed. And matas is liberation. Guru Sahib is the best at all four of these things. If you want an example, have a look at that. The Jyot in the best person is Akaal Purakh. Yeah? Everyone can agree with that. The Jyot of Akaal Purakh is everything. So if the best person in doing celibacy has that Jyot, that means that Akaal Purakh is the best at having that Jyot. So best at being celibate, right? If someone's the best at doing archery, they've got the Jyot of Akaal Purakh in them. That means Akaal Purakh is then the best at doing archery because they're given the Shakti, they're given that power, that strength to pull back that bow and hit the perfect 10. Just like the electricity gives the power to the bulb, WhyGuru gives the power for us to do everything. They are that Karta. And this part is this sums it up. It's a cherry on top if you'd like to call it that. Maharaj writes Tuhi Tuhi 16 times. At the time when Bhai Mani Singh was writing this, Guru Gobind Singh Ji fell into Samadhi. They fell into a very, very deep meditation. They ended up saying Tuhi 16,000 times. 16,000. Bhai Mani Singh Ji wrote every one of them, all 16,000. And this is how amazing Guru Gobind Singh Ji is to us. This is how much they do for us. They said, I'm going to shorten it down for 16. Just because my Gur Sikhs, I want to make it so easy for them to connect with me. I'm going to shorten it down to 16. And whoever says it with full Sharda, full love, they'll get the fal of saying it 16 times. And that's it. And before we just do the Parchar, just ending on that note, I thought it'd be quite nice to do a bit of Tuhijab based on that. Because of the power of something Maharaj has given us, it's only right that we should take the fal of it, take the fruits of it. So if everyone can just close their eyes and we'll say Tuhi for a few minutes all together. Tuhi, 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 तुही 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 देहो सजन असी सड़ियां जो होवे साब स्यो मेल Satsang ji, please bless me. Please bless me to allow to keep doing research on Gurbani, keep allowing me to increase my love and just make me better at sharing this love with you guys, because you're all my family and I've enjoyed this hour so much. Please forgive me for all my mistakes, and any questions or open vichar, feel free. WhyGuru ji ka Khalsa, WhyGuru ji ki Fateh. Anyone, any questions? Hanji.
You know when you said Bindi is used for the first hand experience?
Hanji.
I mean, that word is used in Rabbani for the first time.
No, sorry. So, can you see? Sorry. So, you see how there's that dot after the little symbol going backwards? It's called a bindi in Gurbani. And amongst poetry in India, they use a bindi, use that dot to signify it's a first-hand experience.
Sort of experience.
Yeah, so just like you're experiencing now, you're hearing me, you're seeing everything that's around you. That's the same way that Guru Sahib has put that like check mark to say, look, this is a stamp of what I'm doing. And you can feel it, because I don't know about you guys, but just doing tuhi job, you could feel the love that Guru Sahib put into that word. It's such a delicate word. Just saying tuhi. It's so delicate and so beautiful. Just seeing, look, hi tu hiya, sara kuch tu hiya, everything is you. Everything is you. Just falling in that state of love. So that bindi that there shows that is a first-hand experience. Just like how me and you are experiencing our life right now. Hope that's all good. Any more questions?
It's a bit like Guru Nanak Dev Ji saying tera, tera, tera.
That's it. Yeah, when they're counting the kanak and the atta, it's like saying tera. That's it.
That one simple word describes everything.
100%. It's a beautiful word, man. Beautiful word. Anyone else? You're free to go, by the way, if you want to. I don't want to make you feel like you're holding